Hey guys, Bugcat7 here. Okay, it is Friday, July 31st, 2020, and I want to thank you for visiting the Stonewall Research channel here on YouTube. I really do appreciate it. All right, guys, well, just a short video here to remind all my subscribers of what this channel is really about, and it's mostly about the stone walls of northeastern North America. And that is really what the focus of this channel has been from the very beginning. So I have to cover this from time to time. And I'd like to go over an article that was published at the beginning of the year about the stone walls, 13,000 miles of stone walls in New Hampshire so far. And this has to do with the Granite Mapper, which is sponsored by New Hampshire Granite, which is the acronym for it. And it's a geological LIDAR mapping. And if you don't know what LIDAR is, and you might have heard of that, it's just light detection and ranging, okay, like they've used in South America to find these Mayan civilizations, et cetera, et cetera. So, in any case, they've mapped so far is 13,000 miles. I'll read it to you. This is January 21st, 2020. The New Hampshire Stonewall Mapping Program is an online project that lets people identify stone walls via LiDAR images of the region. As of this moment, they have found 12,700 miles of stone walls all over New Hampshire. I wrote about the project a year ago. Only Stafford County on the seacoast has very few walls. I don't know. I wonder if that's a function of the type of farming that was done there, the type of rock found there, or just an accident of who has participated. Well, the coastal areas were reserved for specific reasons, and it had to do with trade, overseas trade, in my opinion, anyway. It's not clear how many miles of stone walls exist in the state. The best estimate I've encountered for all of New England and New York State of about 250,000 miles in 1871, which is partially true, is the data was collected at that time, and then it was collated in 1936. They came up with 240,000 miles of stone wall, but Barbara DeLong, who did the film Secrets of the Stone, seems to think there's more like 500,000, so it's an underestimate. That's basically what she's saying. I'm guessing that New Hampshire had at the most one-fifth of those 1871 walls, which would be 50,000 miles, so we're a quarter of the way there. Note that these walls have not been confirmed on the ground. They were identified from the way they look on LiDAR. So they had people go over this and draw all these lines where they thought they saw stone walls. So we shouldn't be too fixated on numerical details. I'm sure that some of the walls that have been found are actually old roads or earthen berms or other false positives. Well, I beg to differ with that some of these walls have been cannibalized, and it's very well known that walls are cannibalized. I show in my playlist about Mallory and Mallory Dam. Many of the walls were cannibalized from road fill, et cetera, et cetera. So despite what you've heard about other LiDAR imaging around the world, South America, et cetera, you have no idea that this is a huge, vast civilization that existed here in the Northeast. The walls identify it as this, and they are not walls that are entirely built by settlers and colonists. So I've mentioned this in several of my videos. Here is a town, Concord, New Hampshire, that was planned in 1728 to in 1730. And you can clearly see how organized this is and how very symmetrical it is and proportional it is. You see what I'm saying? This is mentioned by John Delano, the professor emeritus from SUNY Albany, who's professor of arts and sciences. He shows this himself and says how straight they are, how this was done, and everywhere else was done crazy because the people were crazy and stupid reasons. I give him my debunking of the mainstream history. Okay, so there's more to these stone walls than you think. And here I am up in Springfield, Vermont, where I'm just showing on the LiDAR here. This is Springfield. This is where Jimmy, the Paleo Mountain Man, I went up to visit him. And we saw so many of these things. Here you can see this is an art wall, folks. It has messages in it. It has a language in it. This says what is going on in this area here up on Mount Ephraim. But anyway, guys, I'll give you links to these things, and hopefully you watch them. Okay, thanks a lot, guys. Bugcat7 signing out. Peace.